What's up? This is the heavy metal rebel Frankie Kazarian, one half of the best tag team in the business, The Addiction, Ring of Honor superstar, and bass player for VexTemper. And you are watching AMBY.
Hey everyone, it's Alicia from AMBY, and I would like to welcome you to our interview with the heavy metal rebel, Frankie Kazarian. Hello.
How's it going?
Awesome. How are you doing today?
I'm thrilled to be here, finally.
We are here
a little bit late, but
a little bit,
I'm
but
here.
you made it. That's all that matters.
I did make it, yeah.
We are here in Toronto for Ring of Honor War of the Worlds. How are you feeling about today and the match that's to come?
Feeling really good. Feeling really good about the whole tour. Tonight, specifically, going to be in the main event in a very, very intriguing match. A match I'm very much looking forward to. Myself, Christopher Daniels, and Tanahashi against the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, collectively known as the Elite, also known as the hottest act in pro wrestling right now. I've already apologized to the Ted Reeve Arena because we're going to blow the roof off the building tonight. And most importantly, the Ring of Honor fans are going to see something special.
You've entered the ring before. I had to bring this up, and this amazing jacket just covered in patches.
Yep.
But you can't see exactly what's on there. It's always like the cameraman is like, "Oh, I'm just gonna tease him a little bit." It's a very impressive jacket. So what's on there?
It's my battle vest. It is pretty much my favorite bands, my go-to bands. I kind of have a theme. I kind of have like thrash metal on the left breast, hard rock and metal on the right, and on the back's kind of like my shout out to like classic rock, Stones patches, Beatles patches. There's an Elvis patch, Deep Purple, Van Halen, Aerosmith, and on the front, of course, Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, Slayer. You got Priest, Maiden, Danzig, some wacky like Corrosion of Conformity, which is one of my favorite bands, Rollins Band, Black Label Society. Just it's my homage to my favorite bands, and I literally wear it with pride.
How long have you had it for? Because I feel like it must have taken a while to muster up all of this.
It really did. Honest to God, the jacket cost me $10 at a swap meet.
That's the best.
But the patches and the studs and the work cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And trying to find these patches anymore is quite challenging. It used to be like you can walk into a record store and find band patches, but there aren't record stores anymore. So some of these are coming from Australia and China. It took a while, and I've had it for about 2 years, and and it's by far my favorite ring jacket I've ever had, and I'll rock that till the day I die.
You should. It looks amazing.
Thank you.
Very welcome.
Thank you.
You recently said something about how wrestling, you wish that it was a little more gritty and risque, and how wrestling now could be a little bit too neat. So tell me a little bit more about that.
I just think, that's not necessarily a dig at wrestling. It's kind of how I feel about entertainment in general. Everything I think is so overproduced. Even talking about music, which I'm sure we'll get to later, very, very, plastic and sanitized and neat and safe. I think, and I understand it. We're in the age of we need to please, our fans and our investors and our advertisers and all that. So I understand presenting a product that, a 5-year-old can watch and a 75-year-old can watch, which I get. But what I think the business is missing is that company that can be kind of, have the freedom to live on the edge and be a little bit gritty and be a little bit dirty. And maybe there's a few naughty words, and maybe there's a few, really good blood feuds and, things like that. I just, I think once every company across the board is kind of following a certain business model, while the business is thriving today, it can still, tend to be a little generic to where, when you have, for instance, like what happened with ECW, and it stood out so much because of what it was. It was so different. It definitely wasn't WWF Light or WCW Light. It was its own thing. So when I say it needs to be more gritty and more dirty, we need that type of element back, in my opinion. But I feel that way about music, movies, television, everything.
Did the wrestlers that make you want to get into the ring have that grit?
I think so. Like I was I go way back when you talk about, guys that inspired me to do this are guys like Tito Santana and Ricky Steamboat and guys like that. But in ECW, certainly guys like Rob Van Dam and like Lance Storm and those type of guys that were just went at it with reckless abandon. I was I really dug that. Jerry Lynn, those type of guys that they stood out for being just great wrestlers in a great wrestling company that was known for blood and guts. But when you got down to the core, it was just fantastic wrestling.
Well, you are a self-coined metalhead. And I
Yes,
feel like,
I am.
especially after hearing all the stuff on that jacket, all
Yep.
those patches,
Yep.
definitely lives up to that.
Yep.
And you also play bass in VexTemper.
I do. I
So
play bass guitar.
How long have you loved metal for? Has it been since the beginning, or did you kind of gradually get into
well,
it?
I mean, I was raised in a very a family of rich in music, to whereas there was Waylon and Willie being played, and there was Elvis, and there was Jimi Hendrix, and there was Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd, and Frank Zappa, and so I was exposed to a lot of just really good music, and about 11 years old, 12 years old, got turned on to Guns N' Roses when they first broke, and they were like my gateway band, and would wear Guns N' Roses stuff all the time. And I remember in 6th grade, a kid handed me a cassette, a taped cassette, and he said, if you like Guns N' Roses, you'll love these guys. And it was And Justice for All recorded on a tape, and I listened to Metallica, and that really exposed me to heavy metal, thrash, and hard rock. And so from that age on, it was pretty much, I'm a hard rock and heavy metal guy specifically.
Well, it's a very exciting time to be in your band because, do you mention, debut
Yep.
record is officially out.
It is out.
There must be so
It
much
is
relief
out.
and excitement going on.
It's cool, man. It's it's a passion play. It's something I love. Playing music I love as much as pro wrestling. It's just a different way for me to express my creativity. And for this, this was just 5 buddies kind of jamming for several years, and eventually coming up with a couple original songs, and then a couple more, and then thinking, hey, we might have something here, and what, let's try to take this to the next level. And for us, that next level was actually sitting down, recording it, mixing it, mastering it, and getting it out there digitally. And now we have physical copies, merchandise. We're booking gigs throughout the spring and summer, and I'm trying to fill up my time when I'm not wrestling, doing VexTemper related stuff, and I'm having the time of my life. I love it.
I want to know where you found the time to do this in between because you're out on the road so much.
Yeah, that's the tough part. The luxury I have is I'm home, at least Monday through Wednesdays or Tuesdays through Thursdays. Sometimes, I'll have a weekend off here and there, so we can rehearse and we can play during the week. The guys in my band, they all have jobs too and families and commitments, but we started about 2.5 years ago now. We started booking gigs and playing gigs, and just just made time. If it's important to you and it's something you're passionate about, you make time. And I've like I said, I take my free time that I have and I fill that with VexTemper stuff. So I'm working around the clock, but it's never worked to me because I enjoy doing it so much.
If you could have any band or artist do a theme song for you, who would that be?
Well, the easy answer for me is, because I'm such a Metallica fanatic, would be Metallica. But and that's an easy answer. Another one would be Hatebreed, because I'm a big fan of Jamie Jossa. I like to consider myself pals with him. I was on his podcast, and we have a lot of very similar views, and that his music is very powerful and has a lot of angst. I myself have a lot of angst, and he would also suffice. And a guy like Zach from Black Label, that would be awesome too. Just to hear a Zach riff and I get to walk out to the ring to it. That'd be sweet.
Let's wrap things up. Is there anything you want to leave with all of your fans who will be viewing?
Obviously, check me out on Ring of Honor. In addition to that, if you want to give a listen to a good hard rock and metal album, check out Doom Engine, VexTemper.com, VexTemper on all the social media platforms. You'll hear me talk about it relentlessly because I'm cramming it down people's throats because that's what I do. And thanks for all the good feedback we've gotten from it. It's been really cool. Just enjoying it and just having as much fun as I can with it.
Yeah, everybody follow VexTemper. I know I already am on
Right
all
on.
social channels.
VexTemper is also following you. That's
They
why she got the
are.
restraining order.
I just want to say thank you so much for joining me today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. And remember, to everyone viewing, you can visit us at musicblogger.com for all exclusive interviews, features, videos, and so much more. See you next time.